Hello, Stacy here with Limelight AZ. So first of all, last night I ended up posting a pretty crappy video because I was just angry. I was so angry. My son had tried to hug me, but I had just done the bee stinging, so my back was tender. I mean, it's a pretty big space, probably that big or so, across my back that was tender from doing the bee stinging. Isn't my hair lovely this morning? That was tender from doing the bee stinging. I mean, 7 stings across my back. That's a pretty wide space. And then I was also having spasms in my back, and it seems to be hopefully letting up this morning. I'm not noticing it as much as I did yesterday. And overall pain, like I mentioned, in my recent videos, like the pain has returned. So, my son, who's 10, is my most loving child. Or my most affectionate, I should say. All of them are loving, but he's my most affectionate child. And he's the one that has always randomly come up and give people hugs when he can tell they're not feeling well or they're sad or whatever. So, he was standing next to my bed, talking to me, and I closed my eyes for a second and opened them to him hugging me. Like, I opened my eyes right as he was hugging me, which sent me into tears because he touched the stings on my back, or where the stings had been done. My side started spasming, which of course causes a chain reaction for the rest of me hurting, and I just started crying. And he's like, "Okay, Mom, I'll leave." I felt horrible. But I couldn't do anything about it. I was in pain. And he felt really bad for giving me a stinking hug. Anyways, I was furious. I was absolutely furious. And I essentially said, like, if I ever find out that, that this was lab created and who did it, I'm going to kill the person. And I was not joking. I'm just so angry over this, and knowing that there's a strong possibility that this was lab created. If you don't know much about Lyme or whatnot, that there's a strong suspicion that this was a lab created thing, along with AIDS and maybe even cancer. Not cancer at the same time, but AIDS around the same time. So it's just, that's always in the back of your head that somebody possibly created this. And it is killing people and destroying families and destroying people's minds. And that I'm one of them that has been affected by this. My family is one of them that has been affected by this. And it just really stinks. And to not know if some person thought it wise to first create it and then release it. So, I was angry last night, because my children can't even hug me sometimes because I'm in so much pain. And as a mom, that's not okay, and, so I was very, very angry, and I posted a video essentially stating that, and within an hour or two I set it to private, but somebody saw it besides me. I'm not sure whoever you are, you're the lucky only person besides myself who's seen that video. I was just so angry. That's all I have to say. I was just angry. And I think rightfully so. This is a horrific disease. And it's not a disease that I would wish upon my worst enemy, except for maybe the person who created it. As horrible as that is. But after having some time to calm down and be less angry, I decided that this was not going to help anybody. was not going to help anybody who has Lyme and sees it. It was not going to help anybody who doesn't have Lyme and sees it. It's not edifying to the God that I serve. It was from a place of, I don't even know the word, but just from a place of deep frustration. So I set it as private. I have not removed it. I might use clips from it later at some point down the road. So I decided not to completely delete it, and I delete the videos off my phone frequently. So I decided that I would just set it as private, and if I choose to use it at some point later, I'll do that. But anyways, so did 7 stings last night. Figured out yesterday that I'm probably feeling so bad because I have not been detoxing. I have not been detoxing because I didn't think I needed a detox, because I didn't think that I was doing much for killing the Lyme the last couple of weeks. And apparently I was, and it was just accumulating slowly, to the point where I just feel horrible at this point, as far as the pain goes. So yesterday I did a little bit of detox with my sauna blanket and my lemonade, which I think is huge for helping my system flush. The lemonade I use, by the way, is just lemons, water, and stevia drops. I can't reach the stevia drops, or I'd show you what I'm talking about. Maybe I'll show on the next video. So it's like one of my only, like, absolutely zero guilt things that I can consume. Because the stevia drops kill Lyme in my stomach, and the water and the lemon are obviously really good for flushing my system, and it tastes good. So it's like the only thing that I have that is zero guilt and makes you feel like you're getting a treat. So, but I had stopped because I thought it was messing up my stomach. So this time what I did was I drank the lemonade in between taking my vitamin C, and I didn't have any problems with my stomach yesterday. So I think that what was happening was I was taking it usually about the same time I take my vitamin C, and I mean, I'm on 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day, so that's a lot of acid. And I think with taking the vitamin C at the same time that I'm taking or drinking the lemonade, which is fresh acid, was just too much for my stomach. So yesterday I didn't have a problem, which makes me happy because now I can start drinking lemonade again. And I think it really, really helps. I drink at least a quart, if not 2 quarts of lemonade a day. It's one of the easiest ways for me to get water down. My hair is just all over the place, and I'm obviously in still morning mode. Well, I'm always in morning mode because I'm always in bed. But anyway. Anyhow, so that seemed to help a little bit. I noticed this morning with the sauna blanket that we used a little bit yesterday, that and the lemonade, that I think I woke up feeling just slightly better this morning. So today's project is to seriously crack down and do detoxing. So I'm gonna be doing the sauna blanket probably 20 times. I don't think I'm gonna be doing it 20 times. 2 times today, at least, if not 3. It was actually quite comfortable yesterday when I used it. Usually it's pretty uncomfortable for me after a little bit because it's heavy and I feel a little claustrophobic in it. But because we only did it over me instead of having me wrapped up in it, I was much more comfortable. I only stopped using the sauna blanket because I started getting a headache. So I figured it was time to get out of there. But otherwise, I was physically comfortable. It's not as effective when it's like that, but I think it did something because I did wake up feeling a little better this morning in conjunction with the lemonade. So the other thing is I have some tinctures for liver, for kidney, and for lymphatic system. And I'm going to be taking those today too. And hopefully we'll be like really shoving my body into detox mode. As well as taking cholera. I keep calling it cholera, but I don't think that's the right term. It's CHO. Maybe it's COLLE. I don't know. The green tablets. So I'm going to be taking that today too, which is supposed to be helpful. And then tonight I'm going to be taking some activated charcoal. I'm hoping to get 2 quarts of lemonade down myself today. And with all of that, I'm really, really praying that I feel a world's better tomorrow. We shall see. Unfortunately, being that I'm bedridden, I don't have as many modalities for detoxing as most Lyme people. Even doing I finally did get around to doing an enema a couple of times, but had to have my husband help me, and we had to be in the bathroom. At this point, that's not an option. Doing a detox bath, not an option. Even using the foot bath that I have is not really an option because I just can't sit up that long. So unfortunately, my modality options are significantly limited. But prayerfully, in the near future, the bee venom will really, really start taking effect, and I will start seeing my body being able to do stuff that it hasn't been able to do in a while. Knees in particular. My left knee does not seem to be giving me as much trouble as it has recently. And my right knee, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that. Because if I try moving it, it definitely is noticeable that it hurts. But it doesn't seem all that swollen. So, beats me. Anything else? I don't think so. Brain is still working well, which I am so very thankful for. I am a bit more emotional lately with the pain and frustration of the pain. But I don't feel like I'm in a fog for the most part. In the evenings, I really start getting that way. But for the most part, I don't really feel like I'm in a fog and not able to comprehend things. So that's good. At any rate, I think that's about it. And yeah, have a good day. Oh, subscribe.